So yesterday, Jake Paul had his boxing match with Nate Diaz, and after watching it, there was no reason Jake Paul talked all that shit only to have the fight go the whole 10 rounds. Before the fight, they asked him for his predictions, and he's like, early knockout, early bird gets the worm. And before you know it, we're in the 9th, and Nate is taunting Jake like he wasn't already a guaranteed loser after round 5. I wish I could show you clips, but just imagine your drunk uncle getting in a fight with you, and for some reason won't go down no matter how many times you hit him. He's just always back for more, fucking laughing at you. I have never seen someone try and gain respect from the boxing community by fighting people who aren't in the boxing community. He's basically doing his own version of Shaq versus, only he's making the people play the sport he wants and then acting like he's the best at it. I honestly thought he was going to get the early round knockout. Nate Diaz has probably the worst form of any boxer I've seen. He was turning his back, hitting different emotes. Any other boxer who doesn't suck butt would literally have knocked him out in the first 30 seconds. There's even a clip of him talking about the fight and how it was, and he doesn't give a shit he lost. He's still, I can beat up anyone.
That fight, in a real fight, this fight's over, and Winston up here with the win. What was the question? Yeah, I'll fuck up everybody. What's happening?
And it's like, Jake, you won against someone whose training was probably a good diet. How are you gonna almost beat a real boxer, but then barely beat someone who can't even remember the question they're asked?
What was the question?
And if you look at his brother Logan's face after the fight, not one smile is made. He looks like someone who has to deal with being brothers with the guy who barely beat Nate Diaz. Logan's like, I lasted 8 rounds with Mayweather. How long have you been training, Jake? This is like your 8th fight? Jake's 7-1 record holds about as much weight as my undefeated record in Madden. Like, I don't understand why ESPN and other people are treating him like a real boxer. Anyone with money can start training and become good at whatever it is. That's what they're paying money to do. You don't see Mark Zuckerberg challenging Khabib to come out of retirement so he can fucking prove that he's good at UFC. But if you use the skill you paid a small fortune to get against people who aren't even gonna test it, you might as well have me fight for you. At least then you can keep the skills and not look like someone who just wanted to say, I'm back, baby, which is what he said right after he won. No shit, you're back, Jake. You spent so much money on advertising. I'm pretty sure if Nate Diaz won, you would have forced him to do 3 rematches, even though you would have won the first one, just so you can keep your fragile little ego intact. You're a YouTuber who does boxing as a hobby, and you can't and won't convince me otherwise. Unless you fight a real boxer. Like, look at this UFC match yesterday. Look at their records. This is what I want you to do, Jake. Fight someone who's actually a challenge. Although it seems like Nate was a big enough one for you already, but fight someone who isn't gonna lean over the ropes mid-fight to tell someone something. That, and when Nate Diaz put him in a headlock and then raised his arm like he won, was probably the highlight of the whole match. Jake Paul needs to start fighting people his own age and who actually have a career in boxing. I don't think there's anyone else who can challenge people to a sport they don't play, beat them, and then act like they're the best, except for him. And then everyone's just like, I think we're gonna agree with him. If anything, fight someone like Richard Riakporhe or anyone who isn't chilling right now, contemplating retirement. Even if you lose a couple fights, some might respect you for losing to someone who's actually a challenge. I won't, but some will. See you guys next week. Peace.